man simply took a mysterious pill. As a result, the next second, he teleported directly onto the street. He took out his phone in disbelief and was astonished to find that the time had already advanced to the next day. So, he really had time. With this kind of pill, the man seemed to have discovered a new world. Even the shift work that used to cause him the most pain had now become so easy. All he needed to do was secretly take a pill, and the time would instantly jump to the next day for the shift change. Facing his colleagues' gratitude, the man just smiled faintly because the effect of the pill was far more than that. He dreamed of becoming a director. However, after years of hard work, he still achieved nothing. Even his girlfriend advised him to give up that unrealistic fantasy and start planning for their future. But the man firmly believed that he would definitely win the award in this film festival competition. However, the competition result would be announced in a week, and the man couldn't wait. To avoid his girlfriend's nagging, he simply swallowed 3 pills at once. As the drug effect took hold, the man successfully time-traveled again. He quickly looked at the calendar. It was the day when the competition results were officially announced. But just as he confidently searched for the result, reality hit him hard once more. A crumpled notice in the trash can clearly showed that he had failed again. It turned out that the pill could only travel through time but couldn't change the final outcome. From then on, the man became Whenever he faced something unpleasant, he would always subconsciously choose to escape. He would take a pill and skip this bad memory. Every time he went for an interview, he would also take a pill in advance. Compared to the cruelty of the process, now he just wanted to take a shortcut and directly jump to the result. However, what he got was one failure after another. Ironically, he knew clearly that the problem lay in changing himself, but he still pinned his hopes on a better future life. Every day he just thought about using the pill to skip the trough. Soon, the pills were used up. The man went to the doctor to get more prescriptions. However, the doctor refused to prescribe them to him because excessive dependence would be too much for his body. But the man wouldn't listen. Taking advantage of the doctor being temporarily called away, he simply stole a thick stack of pills from the drawer. This should be enough for a while. But just as he excitedly returned home, his girlfriend was dragging her luggage to say goodbye to him. Although the man tried his best to persuade her to stay, his girlfriend was extremely disappointed in him. The man had nothing to say and could only watch helplessly as his girlfriend left, unable to utter his true feelings. Now, even his only spiritual sustenance was gone. He had nothing left to lose. A terrifying thought suddenly emerged in his mind. Since his life had already hit rock bottom, he might as well skip this damn youth. So he ate all the pills at once. As the drug effect took hold, the man fell into a deep sleep. When he opened his eyes again, he found that everything in front of him was so strange. Whether it had become better or not was still unknown. But just by looking in the mirror, the man was severely frightened. Looking at himself in the mirror, he was completely in the image of a middle-aged uncle, and even his temples had turned gray. Only then did he realize in hindsight and feel afraid. It was not until he turned around and saw the calendar behind him that he discovered in horror that 15 years had already passed. The man regretted not listening to the doctor's advice, but it was already too late. Just then, a door-opening sound came from downstairs. A little girl walked in, but obviously, the man didn't recognize her and could only hide awkwardly. Perhaps sensing the man's abnormality, the little girl followed him directly and said, "Dad, are you okay?" The man couldn't believe that his daughter had already grown so big. It was not until he saw the family photo on the table that his inner shock became even more uncontrollable. It turned out that the child's mother was his girlfriend. But it was also a good thing. After all, such a life was what he had dreamed of. But when he asked his daughter where her mother was, he didn't expect to stun his daughter. It turned out that his girlfriend had passed away due to illness 3 years ago. Looking at his girlfriend's portrait, the man was extremely sad. The beauty that was just within reach was instantly shattered by reality. Led by his daughter, the man came to his girlfriend's grave. He never expected that their reunion would be a permanent separation. Although grief was flowing like a river, life still had to go on. He had to shoulder the heavy responsibility of taking care of his daughter. At the same time, in his spare time, he tried hard to search for memories of the past. Finally, in a box, he found a forgotten trophy. It turned out that in the year following his failure, he had won a major award. But strangely, he should have achieved his dream and reached the peak of his life. Why had he now fallen to the point where he could only barely make a living by selling manuscripts? So the man, with doubts, played his award-winning work from that year and tried to find the answer. However, to his surprise, the female lead in the film was his girlfriend. Looking at his girlfriend's happy appearance at that time, the man's eyes instantly turned red. At this moment, he really wanted to know how they got back together, how he proposed, and how their family of 3 lived. But no matter how hard he tried to recall, those beautiful memories that should have belonged to him were like being formatted. He just couldn't remember. The man suddenly realized that those troubles back then were nothing compared to now. People always cherish something only after losing it. Fortunately, God gave him a chance to start over. When the man woke up again, he found himself lying in the hospital. The doctor told him that everything he had just experienced was just an illusion caused by the pill. But at this time, the man couldn't tell which one was a dream. It was not until he returned home and saw his girlfriend, still young, that he felt an unprecedented sense of security. Now he just wanted to have a good talk with his girlfriend about the future and finally understood that no matter whether the process was good or bad, he should face it bravely instead of escaping. Because memory is the only way to record our lives, isn't it?